You know what? Hey, everybody. You know what? I always get caught like this when I come on live. So I want to wake you all up this morning. I just want to start off with this. Happy Saturday. Woo! I don't know what level up means, but it's just a hype song for me this morning, okay? Happy Saturday. Them no mistakes are gone. I won't do them no more. That's old news. That's news. I done did that before. Happy Saturday, everybody. Want to make sure that you all are doing good on this Saturday. Hey, everybody. So enough of the hype song with Sierra. This is Keisha Sharp Jefferson, otherwise known as Coach K, and just wanted to do something to get you hyped this morning. I still have her on if y'all need some help for this Saturday, okay? But I tell you what. I'm sorry, I'm feeling that this morning. My husband says nobody listens to Sierra. Is it just me? Am I the only one who likes this song? I don't understand it, but it's hype. Hey, Tina. Telling y'all to level up this morning. Telling y'all to level up this morning. And listen, I want y'all to do me a favor. I want you all to share out the broadcast this morning, okay? I want to say happy Saturday. Again, this is Keisha. And listen, I have to do that every now and then. I don't know about you. I just have to do some things to just kind of get myself excited, you know? But anyway, it's a good day. Rainy outside, but you know what? We're not going to let that stop our show. So good morning. Good morning. Share out the broadcast. You know, there are always goodies involved when you share out the broadcast this morning. So welcome to Saturday Perspectives. And I'm so excited, y'all. I'm so excited about my guest this morning. So the first guest, really, she needs no introduction, but you know what? Tina says she loves it. Well, Tina, I hope I'm not alone in my little hype stance over here. My husband says nobody listens to Sierra. Maybe I'm by myself, but it just gets me hyped. You know what I mean? It just gets me hyped. And let me tell you something else. I'm so excited about this artist that I'm getting ready to introduce you to. And actually, she is a blood family member. And I thought, you know, her message is so encouraging. And I know a number of people, a number of women in particular, guys don't really deal with this, okay? This is kind of like a woman thing, okay? So not to exclude my guys, but, you know, women deal with the fact that they're alone on Valentine's Day. They feel an incredible amount of pressure to be competitive. They feel an incredible amount of of introspection during this time, especially if they're alone, especially if they're not even in a relationship. So we want to bring some things to you today to encourage you. In fact, rather than me saying anything, I'm going to just show you the message this morning that QueenLin brings to you in her song. You ready for it? Even though you're single, I want you to understand this one thing. Give it a listen right quick.
On the treadmill 5 or even 6 days a week gets most people nowhere.
You want to know why running on the treadmill 7 days a week?
I want you to listen to it. It says, she ain't me.
Been there before. No, it ain't work out. Think it's best to take it slow. Make sure this what you want.
I don't know if you all are seeing that. My screen may have froze just a little bit, but QueenLin, she ain't me. Here we go. There it is. There it is. Listen to the message.
You may say I'm tripping, but I'm different from them other women. Know you're wishing that you're gone. Yeah, that's why you spending.
You hear the message in that? I'm different from those other women. And that's what I want to remind you this morning. You're different from any other woman. Okay. You don't need a man to complete you. You don't need anything to make you feel better. All you need is you, and you need to care about you. But remember that when God made you, he didn't make anyone else like you. There's no other woman who walks around this earth who's like you, ladies. So I want you to hold your head up. I want you to square your shoulders on this Saturday. And I want you to remember, even though that other sister may be fine, she may have it going on, but guess what? She ain't you. I want to bring on this morning the artiste herself, QueenLin. Lindallion, good morning, sweetheart.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Let me turn down your music here. Operating all this technology, I tell you one thing, but let me tell you something. As we continue to let the video kind of play in the background, morning, morning, morning to you. You know, you've shared this story with us before, but I absolutely love, love, love it.
Thank you.
Why is it important for you to share that message, and where did that come from, QueenLin?
It basically just came from me sitting down, coming up with ideas. And basically, I am unique, and it's just reality check. Like, basically, no matter what, nobody will ever be me. It's only one me. And I know other women can relate as well, because we're all unique in our own way. No matter what the next may have, no matter what, as long as you know who you are, that's all that matters. And that person would never be you. Never.
I love that. We've got Rico on here. He says, good morning, sis. And then we have Shannon Montgomery, and she says, right, I'm an original. You are.
Yes.
You know, and then Dalian, I'm 48, and I know that you are in your 30s. You corrected me before. I thought you were like in your 20s. She was like, no, I'm not in my 20s, cuz I'm really, I'm in my 30s right now. But I love that line of thought, because I really brought you on not just to say to you kudos. And really the update is, when we brought her on before, she'd produced the song. We had the song out, but the update is the video. So we wanted to show you the video. I love, love, love how you followed your passion. I'm always passionate about people following their passion. You are out of Alabama.
Yes, I am.
So Alabama born artist, y'all. Everything we do on this show, it's to encourage you. When did you know that sweetheart, that you had the gift? When did you know that?
Well, I started off real young,
Yeah.
I did sing in church and everything like that. But basically, I didn't start taking it more serious until like recently and everything. So yes, like I've always known I had a gift. I just started recently breaking out my shell and everything. So.
But I think in breaking out your shell, you encourage other people to do that as well, Lindallion. You encourage other people to do that. And I've got your music kind of going in the background. But you encourage, and I'm going to show the video again. So you broke out of your shell. I know you're in your 30s. Do you find that a lot of women in that age group struggle with self-esteem? Do you find they struggle with understanding and appreciating their uniqueness? Do you believe that?
I believe, yeah, some people do, but I think we all go through a life stage to really kind of find who we really are, and everybody has a different purpose. And some things that I believe that I probably went through wasn't for me, but what I realized is that I was a vessel to help the next person. So
yeah.
It may feel bad for you, but if you know who you are in that process and you come out of that situation, you're knowing that it's bigger than you. It's not just about you. You're doing something that's going to help the next person.
Ooh, that's
always,
That's encouraging.
Yeah.
That's encouraging. So there are women who are going through things right now. Mm-hmm. There are women who feel, that it's unfair that they don't have anyone. They feel it's unfair that they're single. They may feel it's unfair that, they were with a partner and had a child with this partner and he left them. They may feel it's unfair that they lost a job. They may feel it's unfair that they're going through some challenges. So what I hear you saying is, in spite of all those challenges, there is a purpose. And sometimes there are things that when we go through, we can help others come through.
Yes. Yes, exactly. Exactly. It's always going to be bigger than yourself. That's how you have to treat the situation. I know I'm going through this, but I'm probably going through it to help the next as well as helping myself. So
Yeah.
that way, when I come out of this situation, I know that I'll be better than what I was before. So it's just all about knowing that it's bigger than you. It's not always about you.
And I love the idea too of saying, you know what? I'm not going to make an excuse with this. I'm just I'm going to accept
Mm-hmm.
that this has happened for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm also going to win in the middle of this.
Yeah.
Now, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, no, you're fine. You have to. That's your mindset. It's all in your mind. You have to tell yourself. You can't defeat yourself. You have to tell yourself daily, whatever it takes. Because if you weigh in on that situation and you let it beat you down, you're not going to come up out of it. So you have to be stronger than the situation.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I want to speak to a couple of people this morning. We've got the Shannon Montgomery on. I think I featured her comment. Altrice Jones, she said, that's right. Walk in your queendom. And yes, ladies, I want to encourage you.
Yes.
Walk in your queendom. Jay Irv, my friend Jay Irv, he says, congratulations to you both. So thank you so much. One of my buddies, Jay Irv, watching this morning, has his own PR firm. So you have any PR needs, check him out. Now, QueenLin, I'm going to put up your name and your song. Tell people how they can support you. How can they support you? And by the way, I'm checking the t-shirt right there. I'm loving that t-shirt.
Thank you. Yes, yes. I have more things coming too, but right now I do have these available.
Sure.
They're welcome to support as well by Cash Apping $20 to my Cash App name, Real Queen Lynn. It's also on my page, on my Facebook page. Basically, you can always tell me the size, the color if you're interested in supporting. I mean, you can support by sharing my music with others, letting the next person know. Is other ways, commenting, anything that you feel that you're welcome to do to support me.
So what's next?
Who knows? Hey, who knows? Just know that I am working on more music.
Yeah.
And so I'm just keeping that in check right now. So yes, more music is coming.
More and we were trying to have on a guest superstar secret person to come on this morning who is the producer.
Yeah.
But he's a little camera shy, so we're gonna give him that. He's your brother who actually produced the song. I love that collaboration with family.
Yes, we've been doing it for the longest. So
what do you mean when you say really? What do you mean you've produced songs before?
Yes, we had me and him used to work together a lot. Like I'll go over and he'll be in his studio doing a beat, and then he'll be like, "Hey, go out here and do this and sing this part for me," and I'll just go and sing it, and he'll just go along with it and put it together. And when he finished it, it was like magic. Like I said, this boy is so gifted and talented. I'm like, wow, like seriously, he's good. He's really, really good. And shout out to Moss Kane, my brother. Tom.
Yeah. Shout out Moss Kane. I mean, like, really, y'all, we're really blood relatives. Like, we're children of sisters. Yes. Like, my mother's is the older sister to her mother, Linda Munoz. So we're like really relatives.
Yes. Oh my goodness.
So it's all made for love, and I love what you're doing, QueenLin, and I'm telling you this not only as family, as blood family, but just really even as a sister and as a fellow artist and creative. That I love what you're doing. I love how you're encouraging women, and I just want people to again remember your message as they follow you, Real QueenLin. You want the T-shirt there to support the effort and what she's doing and in raising the standard. A lot of other women are out there doing different things, and it's not a criticism, but raising a standard and giving a message for women to say, you are beautiful, you are unique, and there is not another like you.
Never.
Never. Say it again, honey. Say it again.
Never be me. Never.
Never. See, I can go there too. Don't be fooled by this Miss Amelia scarf and all that good stuff. I can
Don't
go
let me
there.
bring it out. Don't let me bring
Okay. So y'all listen up. So listen, this is a special Valentine's Day edition. And you know what we want to do is encourage you. QueenLin, are you going to hang out? I have your Cash App there for people if you want to support her, whether her music or whether buy one of her t-shirts and support what she's doing and support her vision. I want you to support her. And thank you as always, and continued success to you, sweetheart. You're going to hang out with us as we talk to the natural hair guru.
Of course. I also want to say to those who might later on watch this, they have been so supportive as well, even if they're not tuning in right now. But I know people will watch it later on. But I want to just shout out everyone. Like, people has really, really been like so supportive with me and my music, whether they inbox me or, you know, sold into my life. Like, I really, really, truly appreciate each and every one of them. So I just want to give everyone a shout out and thank you guys so much. And hopefully y'all stay on this little journey with me. And,
Yes.
you know, better things are coming along the way.
I agree with you. And we will stay on the journey with you. We love what you're doing. And, you know, again, it's your heart in it. That's why I love to talk to people and I love to do things like this. You know, I'd said when I left corporate America that this was what I wanted to do. I wanted to talk to people. I wanted to interview people because I like the story behind the story.
Yes.
And once a reporter, always a reporter. So I love good stories. I love to know why you all are doing what you do. And again, my passion as a business owner is and a creative is looking at other people and featuring other people who are pursuing their passion. So as people are watching you, they're thinking, dang, I'm connected to so-and-so. I can write that song. You understand? Dang, you know, I love that message. She's right. You know, there's not another person like me. So I love that. So as we kind of move on, y'all, I'm going to say one word. Darrius. I'm going to say two words. Peace. And you know, some things, and Lindalia, sweetheart, you have not met him before, but consider this your introduction. You'll feel like you know him. We go back. Like, you know, I was trying to think of some catchy doggone sayings. Like, I don't even need to give a whole long introduction.
Right.
Darrius, peace, I'm getting ready to come to you. Like, just bring you on screen. I don't know what the saying is, Darrius. Like, we're down like 4 flat tires.
I mean, real talk. This is true. Real talk. I was just thinking just now how, I mean, we've really been rocking and rolling for a long time, and we were catching up on yesterday. And one of the things that we mentioned is that we've been in conversation about not even just natural hair, but we've been in conversation about life for well over a decade now.
Yes.
And it's been just a really seamless conversation. So before we start continuing with the conversation, I just wanted to say thank you for bringing me on this Saturday morning and with the perspectives. And thank you for ushering so many men and women in I'm not limiting it to the Birmingham metro area, but definitely in the Birmingham metro area into accepting and embracing their natural Afro textured hair. I know a lot of people may not know this, but you know, you were one of the first in Birmingham to really usher a mass group of women and men into wearing their natural Afro textured hair, having the conversation with them about what is it that's stopping you from loving what you've been naturally gifted with. And it's been an ongoing conversation for, as I said before, over a decade. It's been a great conversation, and we're here to continue discussing that with these Saturday perspectives. So I'm really excited to be here. If my eyes aren't on the screen the entire time, I got gloves on.
Okay.
So I'm here multitasking, color and hair.
Yeah. I'm speechless, Darrius. Like, I'm like, I just put on this makeup. Now I can't do it quite like you would hook me up, but I'm like, I really appreciate that because, you know, I had someone, I told you this story, someone mention and say, you know, why don't you look at natural hair, you know, because there are all these things that you're trying to do in coaching, blah, blah, blah. And then this story, and I thought, well, the story about the Gorilla Glue, we're coming around to that in just a second. And I talked to you yesterday and you said, you know, Darrius, his name is synonymous with encouragement. His name is synonymous with natural hair. There's no way you're going to leave Darrius's presence with your head down. You're going to walk out and you're going to feel like $1,000,000 because that's just who he is. Okay. It's what he does. Okay. And so I loved what you said yesterday and you said it this morning, but we are, and thank you, by the way, for what you said. I mean, that warms my heart, just in terms of the friendship that we've had. And, just to notice, I went in headstrong, Darrius, with just my heart. Yeah. And just wanting to encourage people and educate people. And then there were people like you who came along and who supported me and who didn't blink. I mean, who didn't blink. Y'all, let me, and y'all want to hear from Darrius, and I'm gonna get to him, but let me give you the story about Darrius. One story. There are many that I can share with you. I was hosting top natural hair models back, and he was one of my speakers because Darrius is the natural hair guru in Birmingham and beyond. And so Darrius came on board, and I said, Darrius, I'm hosting the show. I was all involved with putting the show together. And the young lady, I still am connected to her, who was our main guest at the time. She's pretty big in the natural hair circles. And Darrius said, this is your show, Kisa. He said, so you're not going to show up there with this young lady coming from wherever she is. If I told you where she came from, she was coming from the ATL. You still don't know her, but she was coming from the ATL. He said, you're not going to show up there with her outdoing you or out flexing you. You're going to flex. And I'm going to make that happen for you. That's my Darrius story. And it's just not with me. It's just not with me. It's with other people that he comes in contact with. He's going to make you fly. He understands your flyness. So that's my Darrius story. And Darrius, that's just who you are. I'm giving you a chance to talk because I've been talking. I'm just saying that's who you are. You're a natural encourager, and we love you for it.
Well, I appreciate it. I mean, and you're right. There are so many stories that we could, tell everybody going back. So many stories, so many experiences, and fantastic experiences at that. I love that, our ongoing relationship has really defied a lot of the negative stereotypes that say Black people cannot work together in partnership with peace and camaraderie. And we've defied that over and over again, countless times. And so I love that. That's why when you asked me to be a part of Saturday Perspectives this morning, it was a no-brainer. Like, yeah, hell yeah, I'm with it. Let's do it. So I love that. I love that we're here to talk about that, especially natural hair, because natural hair for me as a beauty, a hair care professional, as a beauty influencer, and a beauty educator, I like to let people know that there are always so many parallels that exist between our perspective with our hair, as well as our perspective and our actions with our lives. And so in many cases, our natural hair, the showcase thereof, is indicative of what is going on in our lives. And so as we move forward with the conversation about the Gorilla Glue, we're going to really delve into that, into what I call the psychology as well as the sociology associated with natural Afro texture hair. It's not as surface and superficial as many people may think. It's a really deep-rooted, not even issue, but deep-rooted experience for many Black people, because natural hair has been shunned. It's been masked. It's been frowned upon and defamed, and just abused in so many different ways. And so I'm ready to have this conversation. So once you get those questions going, let's do this, and we're going to go deep. I'm not afraid to go there. There may be some concepts and comments that may seem controversial, but sometimes it takes controversy in order for us to get to that place of change and that place of healing that we all need, especially in reference to our natural Afro texture hair.
I love that. What I'm going to do, I've got some people speaking, and ladies and gentlemen, those of you who are on, if you've never been part of the conversation with Darrius and I, you'll know with Darrius, but we're just not afraid to go there. So if you have questions for him, ask. If you want to type in some things, just ask us. Okay. I have, and I want to speak to a couple of people. Melody Wilson, good morning. We have Angela Bugs Leach. Good morning to you. Miss Venus Tellis, hi. Also, Marcia Smith Portstead Sams, hello. And then we also have a Callie Brown, Lavonda Johnson, Stephanie, Yolanda Handy. If I'm missing anyone, please forgive me. But I want to say good morning to you. Drop your questions in the chat, and I will try this best I can to get to your questions this morning, okay, or your issues. Darrius, all I need to say to you this morning right here is Gorilla Glue. What the heck?
I know, right? So when I first saw it, I thought it was a joke. I mean, I really thought it was a joke. I was like, I know this is a serious. So I would pass by it on Facebook whenever I would see it, just like, I ain't got time to look at this. What is this? And then someone shared it with an explanation of what was going on with the post. And I was like, Gorilla Glue? What? Gorilla Glue? And so I tuned in and watched the actual video of the young lady expressing her concerns with having destroyed her hair with Gorilla Glue.
Yeah.
Now, one of the things that I know is that there is a product out there that's called Gorilla Snot. And I was thinking, well, if she used the Gorilla Glue, maybe she got it confused with the Gorilla Snot. But on a whole nother level, psychologically speaking, should no Black people anywhere be putting no gorilla anything on our hair, especially because of all of the negative connotations that have been associated with Black people and gorillas, historically speaking. We've been made synonymous, like Black people were viewed as apes and gorillas as a form of propaganda to defame our existence and our integrity and our character as a race. So to blindly or unconsciously apply a product on your hair or on your skin that even mentions gorillas should be off limits for us anyway. And I don't mind saying that, you know, because of the negative associations that have occurred with Black people and gorillas historically. So I wouldn't be putting no gorilla snot, no gorilla spit, no gorilla, you know, anything on my head. And especially Gorilla Glue. And so when I think about the attempt to use Gorilla Glue or any type of glue on the hair, because I always tell people anyway, as a beauty expert, as a hair care expert, that glue was not created for hair. Glue was created for paper. That's it. You know, and adhering hard surfaces. So if you're putting glue on paper, when you glue those pieces of paper together, when you try to pull them apart, what's going to happen? Something is going to tear or something is going to break. And that, to me, right there already lets you know if it's going to tear up paper, then surely it's going to tear up your hair. So that's why I never encourage people to use glue in any way, shape, or form regarding their hair, because it's not assisting with hair care. This looks like the video that you're playing right now. Did you want to comment on that?
Yeah, I'm just showing people the result, and it went viral with her doing this, and you know. You mentioned and you touched on this, and Lindalian, I don't know if you have anything that you want to add on here as well. I mean, I know we're just kind of talking. Did you have anything you wanted to add? I know I kind of caught you off guard. Okay, well, I'll go for it. She stepped away for a little bit. So what I may end up having to do, I may just take her off temporarily. But anyway, my question is, why is it? I mean, why is it? If this is okay, I'll just go here. Let me stop trying to beat around the bush. The purpose of I'm trying to be politically correct. Well, let me just lay that aside for a moment. So I presume in using the Gorilla Glue that the whole point was, let me straighten my hair. Let me tame this unruly hair. The implication is that I need something so extreme because I'm not pleased with my hair. I've got to tame it. I've got to whip it in shape. If you know anything about Gorilla Glue, I've never used it, but if you've seen the advertisements, you know that they have advertised it to be something that has an incredible strength at bonding. So my question would be, I would be afraid, you understand? But me having that knowledge and that healthy fear of that product, why that didn't translate to a young lady who's trying to get sharp for a night, set her hair in place. I don't understand. That bothers me because whether it's natural or not, at what place are we going to be able to say enough is enough?
Well, hopefully, this right here, this occurrence for her has really established for her and many other people that enough is enough.
Yes.
And I know that there are a lot of people who have really bashed her, and we're not here just, and I know we both know this because everything about your platform as well as my platform is to uplift, edify, encourage, transform, inspire, motivate, educate, all those things. And so because we're doing that, we're not here to bash her, but we're taking this as a learning experience, not just for her, but for so many people, as well as to confront the real issue, which is what you mentioned. There is a form of self-dissatisfaction, which can also be interpreted as a form of self-hate that she is and many other people are experiencing. And so whenever you attempt to use a hardware adhesive to lock your hair into place, into formation, that speaks volumes. And I have a concept, and I know this really may offend a lot of people, but I give zero, I don't care about that. But when I see a person that's wearing weave and contacts and lashes, I ain't trusting anything that you had to say because you lied before you opened your mouth. Who are you? You was a lie before you said anything, And so and that's the case. I'm just saying, I'm speaking it as is. That's the costume. And I understand if you're on stage playing a role wearing that costume, but if that's your everyday lifestyle wear, then that speaks volumes. That means that you lied. You woke up lying.
Yeah.
And the worst person to lie to is yourself. And I think that in this case, this action of putting on the Gorilla Glue spray adhesive onto the hair as a means to set the hair was really a showcase of the lies that many have told themselves for so long. This right here is my natural look. This works for me because this is the excuse that many people come with. They'll say things like, my hair is just my hair. I'm not my hair. It's just an accessory. But that's the first lie, because you are your hair. Your hair was uniquely and strategically and intentionally designed and created just for you. Yeah. And I one of the analogies that I use all the time, especially when I'm talking to my children, when I'm traveling all over the world, speaking to women and men about their hair and their natural aesthetic, I always tell them we are all a form of flowers. We're just like flowers. There are so many different species of flowers and vegetation that exist on the face of the earth. And I ain't never heard nobody say, oh, that's an ugly flower right there. Look at that. Nobody ever says that. Every flower that you see is always perceived as beautiful. But when it comes to us as human flowers, it's so hard. That's when we get extra critical, like, oh, that's an ugly flower over there. No, ain't no ugly flowers out there for real. That flower was created and it has an intention and a purpose in the earth. So whatever your unique design, aesthetic design is, that's your design. It's just like I was saying this morning with QueenLin's song. You the only you.
Come on now.
That you cannot rob the earth of experiencing what you were created to showcase and exemplify. So that's my backup, and that's how I justify saying before you opened your mouth you was lying when you got this hair hat on and you got these lashes that's batting out the hair and you got these gray contacts. That's not your aesthetic. When you showcase yours, you add to the beautiful bouquet of humanity. That's the way we have to see it. And so because that's my perspective, I'm not here to down or bash her by any means, because we all understand that there is a deep systemically taught psychological dysfunction that's going on with her and so many women and men across the globe. This ain't just no Black thing. This is a human thing.
Yes. Yeah. I hope that out of it, because you're right, we have to say that we are not bashing her. But her story did bring to light that there's this great dissatisfaction with the way we are. And listen, Marcia says, teach, Darrius, teach. Felicia says, well said. Kimberly says, educate, educate. QueenLin, I know you had to jump out and all that kind of stuff. Self-acceptance is what Sonoria Brooks says, of your own unique beauty. And Callie Brown says, yes. And he gave you a shout out there, QueenLin, because that's exactly what you're saying in your song.
Exactly. Yep.
Except, I'm sorry, go ahead. I didn't know if you were going to say anything.
I was done.
Okay. And I just, that is the thing. And like I said, when I picked up the phone, you love those friends. Darrius is one of those low maintenance friends. And we all need those low maintenance friends in our life, right? That we pick up the phone and the conversation just continues. It's no, girl, why hadn't I heard from you? Or I hadn't heard from you in however long. Listen, if you have a life, okay, we all have things. We all have things that we are doing. We all have things that are going. You pick back up and you keep on running on to see what the end's going to be like. No lost time. You understand? That's how we deal with each other. And we are continuing the conversation because this brought to light the utter dissatisfaction as African-American women that we have. I know personally about that. That was my story. That's why I thought it was imperative for me to begin educating women, because I was Miss Corporate America. You understand? I was Ms. Corporate America, who had the corporate hair, and I could not accept anything else. That was my story. I had an accident back in 2009, went to some hairstylist. This was pre-peace, before peace. It preceded him, okay? Went to this stylist based on the recommendation of a friend. She slapped some chemicals on my hair and the crown of my head, but did not rinse it out completely.
Oh, wow.
And so that's what began. You didn't even know that, Lindalian, did you?
I didn't. No.
Well, that's what began my hair journey. It wasn't because I was trying to make a statement. It was that I knew at that particular point, I couldn't go back to that way of being, because, it was a year before I could even expose my scalp again. I had to wear wigs for a year, had to, because my scalp was so sensitive. It had been chemically burned. But am I knocking people who say, well, I still want to get that done? Absolutely not, because I absolutely love the creamy crack. Am I knocking people who wear wigs or hair extensions? I'm absolutely not, because I had to do that for a period of time. I just made the decision that as a result, you need to investigate this hair that you have on your head, that you came to the earth with. None of us, think of it this way. And Darrius, I'll let you kind of take off from here. None of us asked for the hair that we have. We literally were born with it. So to not accept the hair that we have is the ultimate rejection of ourselves.
Yeah, it is. It's also because I know a lot of people may, and I'm going to say this, but a lot of people may reject this, but it's also your subconscious and proactive way of saying, God, you made a mistake with my hair.
Oh, I say that all the time.
You did good with everything else on earth, but when it came to this hair that you put on my head, you're not really as perfect as I was taught you were.
Yeah,
that's the thing that's the part that people scared to say. No, that ain't what I mean. That's what your action's saying.
Yeah,
and I know a lot of people would say, but it's my choice. It is your choice. It is your choice to wear your hair however you choose, and whatever choice, that's your choice. And if it works for you, if you think it's working for you, then so be it. But for every choice that we make, there's a consequence, whether we choose to wear our natural hair or whether you choose to use a different chemical system or treatment on your hair to alter it. That's the thing. However, there's a consequence, but I'm not here to make any excuses for anybody, because the problem that many Black people, and I'm not, and this is not bashing Black people, just FYI, the conversation is about natural hair, and the majority of Black people all over the world, that natural hair that we're talking about is curly Afro texture hair. And so because we're talking about that, I just want to emphasize that so that nobody think that I am bashing my people. This is a conversation for my people. So if you're not Black and you don't have Afro texture hair, then I'm not talking to you. I'm not talking about you. This is for us. Just so it's clear, so nobody won't think, oh, you left us out. I ain't leave you out. This ain't your conversation. This is a different conversation. We can talk about you later, but we're talking about us right now. So, if it's a problem, leave the room, go to another chat room or something like that. It's okay. But in this regard right here, because we're talking about Afro hair, we have rejected and we have denied it, and we haven't given our hair an opportunity to be exposed as a beautiful petal in the earth. and we come up with every excuse. I mean, I got to go to work, or my husband ain't gonna like it, or my wife ain't gonna like it, or my mama ain't gonna like it. It's just like, that's still a perpetuation of all the things that cause us to not showcase our uniquely designed beauty in the earth. There is no excuse
Yes.
that will justify it not being a rejection to your design, your divine design. It is. I don't care what nobody said. You can call it what you want to, but that's what it is.
Darrius, let's touch on that right quick. Okay, that is a strong influence when you have, okay, let's say a boyfriend, or you're out on the dating scene and the guy is not attracted to you don't stand out because you have this short natural hair. Because I'm gonna be honest, now I'm gonna be straight up with you, D. When I was starting this lock journey, now I have locks, and we'll talk about that a little later. I absolutely love them, but my hair was short initially, and I had a gentleman who was a Mexican friend. This is pre-Marcus Jefferson. This was before Marcus Jefferson. I had short locks on my head, okay, and I had a Mexican guy say to me, now he said, he said, as your hair grows out, you're gonna meet more guys. A Mexican guy told me that, and I feel like, as I was starting my natural hair journey, as I was starting the locks, because my hair wasn't as long, I don't think I got as many hits as I did when my hair grew out and became longer. So when you talk about the women being concerned about what a guy or their partner thinks, that's real talk. So my question to you, help the sisters understand. My husband has loved my natural hair. He met me shoulder length. So he's like you. He's like, I don't need all the other stuff. I like, I like natural, whatever. But some men don't like it, Darrius. Help the single sisters, help the married women whose husbands say, I don't like that. That's not who, you're not who I married looking like that. Help them.
So this is the thing. Now, truth be told, there are a lot of people out there misrepresenting what natural hair should and could be. So a lot of people I'm just saying, what your husband or boyfriend or significant other may be saying is, I'm used to you looking polished. Yeah. I'm not used to you looking ungroomed. Yeah. And so when you come in here, I married Walona and now I got Florida Evans, and ain't nothing wrong with Florida Evans. But if I was going to marry Florida Evans, I wanted to know that from the jump. So, that's the thing that so you lied, you know what I'm saying? Now you came with something different. Like I wasn't ready. Who is this? Papa, who this woman? And so those are things that you have to remember. It may not even be about the hair texture. It may be because you may not look as flattering as you did when y'all first got together. Yeah. But the power in this situation is with you. Like there are so many, I think that there are so many people, specifically in this case, women, who do not understand that the power of influence in this regard is on you. You have the power to influence beauty standards. You've always influenced beauty standards. Ain't no black men been running around here naturally saying, "Oh, I'm naturally attracted to straight long hair." No, that wasn't the case, because before we were captured and brought here, stolen, captured and brought here, or sold and brought here in some cases.
Say it.
We loved our women because they reflected us. And so there's so many influences that change that perspective. And when women, because there's so many, again, this is a historic thing, because Black people were attempting to assimilate for safety reasons. It's not like Black people were just like, oh, I hate myself. Some Black people were like, well, in order for me to be accepted, this is historically speaking, and even some still say this now, in order for me to be accepted, I've got to do something with my hair that makes me look less Black. That makes me look like I got something other than Black in me so that I can experience greater opportunities. So that used to be the case. Yes. But that is not the case anymore. And that's not the case anymore. We're in a different world. And I'm not saying that we're experiencing all the freedoms that life can offer us, but we are in a different world now. And one of the freedoms that we are experiencing, especially when you have policies and clauses in place like the Crown Act, that's helping to prohibit the discrimination of black women and men wearing their natural Afro texture hair and styles in the workplace.
But isn't it sad that we have to have a Crown Act for us
It
to?
is sad. It's very sad, but I'm grateful that it's in place now, because now people can go into the workplace and look like you, Kisa, and look like me, and not have any conflict or verbal conflict, because the conflict still exists. You know, it's just it's a discretion in which it's implemented now. But you know, but I say the influence of beauty standards is in the hands and in the hearts and in the minds of Black women.
That's
and
good.
when you learn to accept, love, and embrace your natural aesthetic, we men will fall into place.
Come on, Darrius.
We will. You know, it's like you control the gates, and you can take that any way you want to. You control the gates. You control the opening of the gates or the closing of the gates. And so if somebody is going to enter into your gates, then they should do so with thanksgiving. I am grateful for your natural aesthetic. I am grateful for how you were created and how you were made. If that is not the case, if your gates are not entered into with thanksgiving and they entered into, I wish you was something else, then that was on you to let that dissatisfaction in your gates anyway.
Come on now.
You better say that.
You got to own that.
Come on now.
So once you own your power of influence, that will help to usher more men into accepting what it is that you're able to showcase. Because at first we weren't, you know, a lot of men, we weren't on board with this whole natural hair. Like, wait a minute, you ain't looking as polished and as refined as you used to. What's going on? And there are a lot of women who still ain't looking as polished and refined as they could, because they still at home trying to do it themselves and not scheduling their beauty sessions with us at higherbeauty.com. You know, I like how I do that.
Hey, get off my toes now. Get off my
you know, but there's a difference. It's not your toes, Kisa, because you are polished. You know what I'm saying? Your man ain't got no dissatisfaction with you.
Come on now.
I'm talking about the ones who may not have the gift or the talent or the skill to really polish themselves, and they've given up. Because again, as I said before, sometimes this is indicative of how you are feeling about yourself. What your hair looks like, it showcases where you are in every part of your life. It really does. I talk about that all the time, especially when I'm traveling and speaking and teaching. So it's not higher beauty. Thank you so much, Regina Ellis, for spelling that. But it's Haya, HAYAHBEAUTY.com. So let me pause for a moment so I can talk about higher beauty.
Yes, please.
Haya means I am, I was, and I always will be. Yes. Everything about the culture of our salon is centered around positive and celebratory affirmations. And so every time we use the name Haya, HAYAH, we follow it with a positive or celebratory or edifying affirmation. Everything about the experience. So Haya Beauty is our way of reminding you that you are, you were, and you always will be beauty, whatever your aesthetic is. And so that's what we do. And so to learn more and to experience that, you can log on to hayabeauty.com, HAYAHBEAUTY.com. Now we can move back on to what we were saying regarding this aesthetic and this ushering into beauty, because men ain't just naturally looking at Black women saying, I don't like the way you look, I don't like your hair. Many men want to see who you are and what you're getting, because in most cases, when you get with a man, what you see is what you get. When you get with some women, what you see ain't always what you get, because I don't know who you are under the mask, under the costume. Who are you? What kind of flower are you really? Because I thought you was a rose, but you might be a dandelion and I didn't know it. I thought you was a tulip, but you run around here looking like a chrysanthemum. You know what I'm saying? So there is something, you know, I mean, real talk. If I'm purchasing roses, I want to know that I'm getting roses.
Yes.
You know? That's the thing. So the power of your gates, the gates of your life, the gates to your heart, the gates to your sexuality and your intimacy, it is all in your power.
Let me tell you.
And we can't come in unless you invite us, unless you let us, unless we're forcing our way, and you don't want that anyway.
We don't want that. And, you know, I'm just piggybacking on what you said. So I went through that, and you know, I don't subscribe to this, but there's some people who think, I know a lot of people who really want to start the lock journey, but they're thinking, oh, I have to go through the ugly phase. I don't know what that is, because when you do what you need to do, there's not an ugly phase. Every stage of the lock journey for me has been a different expression, but it's been nonetheless beautiful seeing how they have grown, okay? Because my hair absolutely loves locks. So again, don't know about that. But as I grew, Darrius, in my confidence with my locks, as I grew in my confidence with my own style, that is what I believe opened the door for me to be able to meet my husband because of the confidence. It wasn't about the length of my hair. It wasn't about, you know, how I thought I was shaped, but there is a confidence. And I maintain men are attracted to confidence. And I will second what Darrius is saying. There is nothing more beautiful than seeing a woman confident in the natural expression of herself. So if you don't know how to style your hair, to look at yourself in the mirror and say, self, I am revoking my own beauty license. I do not know how to do my hair. I do not know the standard for which I should uphold for natural hair. And in some cases, I'm ruining it for other women. So therefore, I will lay down my stylist hat and I will pick up the phone and contact natural beauty experts at hiyabeauty.com. Darrius, it's running at the bottom of the screen. You may not be able to see it, but
I see it. Yes.
Okay,
Thank you.
Running at the bottom of the screen, and contact someone to be able to help you. Because although I'm a big fan of YouTube and all that stuff, and I did about 3 or 4 videos, really and truly, we need to allow people to stay in their lane. So some of y'all, and I want you to speak on this, you need to revoke your own beauty license, your personal beauty license, and allow someone else to help you if you're not gifted in that area. And that's all I'm gonna say about that.
Well, I love what you said, and I love that you keep making mention of your experience with your locks, because that's one of the, when it comes to natural hair, a lot of the conversation over the years, especially as natural Afro texture hair has been repopularized in the mainstream, really leave out the conversation of locks. And, you know, one of the things that I hear so many Black women say and have said over my experience, which has been over 20 years as a hair care professional, is that I want my hair to grow. I want my hair to be strong. I want my hair to be fuller. I want my hair to stop shedding and stop thinning and stop breaking and all those things. And really, I think that the solution for many, if they want that supernatural hair experience, it is in the lock. We have a signature method of locking hair at Hiya Beauty, which is called piece locks. And I have piece locks. You know, these are piece locks that I wear on my head. And, you know, this is like my 3rd set of locks. I've had locks for a long time. And, you know, the thing that's great about piece locks is that I don't have those experiences. My hair is easy. I never think about my hair. My hair is always growing. My hair is never breaking. My hair doesn't shed. I don't experience any of those things. And so, because I know that that's what most women want to experience, you can have peace with your hair when you get your hair locked and experience piece locks. You can make peace with it, because now, you know, the beautiful thing about locks is that if a lock comes off, you can put that thing right back on as if nothing ever happened, and it's your hair. But let your loose, natural Afro texture hair fall out, and what happens? You can't put it back on, it's just gone. You know, now you in the bald head clique and you ain't even want to be there, you know. And not knocking, because if you in the bald head clique and you want to be there, that's cool. But if you don't want to be there, that's unacceptable. So, you know, when I hear about women experiencing problems with thinning, because as you get older, you know, there are a lot of variables that contribute to why so many women and men are experiencing thinning. A lot of it is genetic. A lot of it is chemical. A lot of it is environmental. A lot of it is psychological. A lot of it is dietary. There's so many. A lot of it's just natural. And so, you know, some of it we can't avoid. Some of it we can't prevent, but we can retard, which is also which means slow down. We can also retard that process by finding style options and solutions that are going to best work with whatever our specific condition is. And that's why I love locks so much, because locks you can grow your locks to lengths unimaginable and be able to easier conceal whatever areas of concern you may have. That's what I love about locks. You know, you can do that. So I have so many women and men who have thinner areas of concern on their hair. I don't say bald spots or problem areas. No, this is an area of concern. It doesn't have to be a problem. That's what the purpose of the piece locks, you know, and other lock options are, so that it's not a problem.
That's good.
We want to make sure that we conceal and solve, you know, create a solution for it. But it really does give you the option to be able to exercise with freedom. It gives you the option to not run away from the rain and from the water. We can't exist without water. How we gonna run from water? Why is water kryptonite for Black women? That should be the case. You know, so we need water is essential and sufficient for life as we know it. And that's something that we've been running from. And that's why so many people say my hair ain't growing, because you thirsty. You ain't got no water. You know, your head thirsty, your body thirsty, you know. So that's, you know, all of those play a role. And so anyway, I say that to really plug the option and to introduce people to the possibility of locks, because a lot of people don't know that the stigmas and the stereotypes associated with locks are not always true. You don't have to go through an ugly phase with locks. You don't have to be limited in your style options with locks, because all of the style options that you were used to beforehand, you can still wear with locks, you know. So I love that.
For instance, I mean, you know, I used to, when I was natural and didn't have locks, I used to kind of wear my hair like to the side and have loose natural hair. But, you know, I'm able to wear my hair now up, you know, it's braided up, and I have locks. I mean,
it's beautiful.
Thank you so much. My mother will appreciate that, because she's the one who braided my hair at the kitchen table yesterday. And just I just rolled it with some foam rollers, y'all.
Yes.
So if you're looking for some versatility, listen, this is a home-based sort of thing with what I'm doing. So I know everybody's not really able to do that and work with their hair. That's why Darrius is here. I'm very comfortable kind of playing in my hair, because I'm very careful, at, you know, as you would say. But when I know that there's some things that I need, he is one of the people, his shop, or one of the shops that I would recommend, because they're experts in this arena. And I want to touch on this, Darrius, and we'll just kind of close out and give people back their Saturday morning, because they're hanging in here. My husband said, ball head click. He said, I need to patent and copyright that one for what you just said.
Too late. Too late. It's already registered.
It's already registered. And so one of the things that you talked about, and I want you to just go back and just, we'll kind of conclude on this note, because this has been amazing to just have this conversation this morning about, you know, about us and our community. And I thank you so much for getting up this morning and coming in and multitasking.
Oh, absolutely. My pleasure.
But even though I want to make it very clear, ladies and gentlemen, even though you see hair that's on my head, okay, there are some areas of concern. Even Darrius mentioned this, but there are some areas of concern that I've had with my hair as well. I love the locks and that they mask very well. But Darrius, I want you to encourage women, because you touched on it before, but I want to go back and put a pin here. There are options when you have areas of concern with your hair. So let's not be embarrassed. Let's talk to somebody. Let's get some help, right?
Yeah. I mean, I don't think that is anything to be embarrassed about. Like, that's one of the things we got to stop that. Like, one of the things that's killing us as humans is walking around and carrying the heavy burdens of shame.
Yeah.
It ain't like you chose for your hair to start thinning. You didn't do that. So you don't have to carry the shame and the weight of dissatisfaction and discomfort and, you know, I don't want nobody to see me like this. No, you are beautiful. That's good. And so, but that means that you want to go to a professional, to an expert who specializes in whatever your concern may be. Not somebody, because a lot of times we'll perpetuate whatever our issues or concerns are by self-diagnosing it. Like, you know, well, you know, my mama was thin, so, you know, it's just inevitable. My daddy was thin. And we don't know that. We have to go and allow an expert. I always say, go to the dermatologist, go to, you know, I would say go to the dermatologist before I say go to the trichologist, because the dermatologist has a medical background to help assess it in a way that a trichologist may not always be able to. Now, I think the two can work hand in hand. And for those of you who may not know what a trichologist is, that's a more holistic approach to being able to diagnose hair and scalp conditions. And so, but anyway, and a trichologist will focus primarily on hair and scalp conditions. A dermatologist is going to focus on skin, period. That's what derm refers to, skin. And so, but I always recommend, because hair is growing from the inside out, and we don't know what may be going on inside of our bodies that may be causing our hair to go. It could be thyroid issues. It could be a showcase of an autoimmune disorder that may be going on in the body. It could showcase a deficiency with certain vitamins and minerals. There could be so many different variables that contribute to why this may be happening. And if you're self-diagnosing it, you could perpetuate the problem because the right thing is not being addressed or tackled. So that's why I'm a big advocate of encouraging people to go and visit a dermatologist to assess whatever your concern is. And then you can follow that with a compatible hair care professional to give you a style option that's going to work hand in hand with whatever solutions the dermatologist is recommending. Because I know a lot of people say, I went to the dermatologist and they did a biopsy on me and nothing changed, or they gave me these different solutions or solvents to apply to my hair and scalp and it didn't work. Well, what I will say is, in most cases, if you stop lying to yourself and you be 100% transparent and frank with yourself, you'll realize I didn't do what the dermatologist told me to do. They told me to wash my hair every day with this. They told me to put this solution on my hair every day. But because I was so concerned with having this Gorilla Glue, Gorilla glued in style on my head to lock into place so I can go to work or I could go to church or I could go on this date, I didn't do what they said. And I just said to myself, it didn't work. But in many cases, those solutions will and do work, so we've got to follow the instructions with that. That's one thing. And then two, having those style options that work and that will not cause traction to the edges or traction to the areas of concern, not applying any glue solutions just to kind of close that out. Again, glue was not created for hair, and anybody who is using a product or a solution that says gorilla anything, unless you are a gorilla, that may not be the product solution for you. If you know there's nothing gorilla about you, then that may not be the product that you should be using on your hair. Because if it's gorilla snot, then it may be for gorillas. And unless you're a gorilla and you run around here talking about it works for me, I like it. Really? So you're a gorilla now. Oh, okay, then I see you. So that's something that we got to recognize and just be frank and clear and honest with ourselves and stop lying. All the lies. It's just too much.
It's too much. Darrius, my husband had a question.
Yes.
We were noticing it with some of the ads, they young girls age 6 to 12 who have the fake hair, who have the extensions. Are we setting in place something for our young babies by doing that?
So, Noop, I'm so glad that you asked the question, and I'm going to address that to you. So I have daughters. I've got 2 daughters. My oldest is 13, and my youngest is 12. And extensions. It's all about how the extensions are applied. Because if you're dealing with a daughter or somebody who's a stage actress or something like that, it may require that she wear extensions or something like that. It's all about making sure that the extensions are applied properly, but not just applied properly, removed properly, because a lot of the dangers with extensions, it's really not even the application. Now, if you know that it's pulling your life away from your head, then that's one indication that, okay, this is too much. However, but when it's improperly removed, because some people will take out the braids or take out the weave or take out the crochets, the latch ends, and they'll just proceed to washing their hair and wondering like, oh my gosh, why is my hair all tangled up? Why is my hair all matted up? Because there wasn't enough patience or care applied to the removal process. And so, I know a lot of women and men are working, and they may not always have the time that they need to put into their daughter's hair. Back in the day, women did, but women are working more than women did back in the day. It's a different world that we're living in now. So a mother or a father may not have time to get up in the morning and comb through and detangle and grease and all of that stuff like they used to. Because now a lot of women are breadwinners in ways that they weren't when we were growing up. Many of us had mamas who was at home and mamas who had a little more time and mamas who had help financially needed to be able to make things happen for us. But that's not the case in 2021. That wasn't the case in 1999, and it sure wasn't the case in 2010.
Yeah.
So
Right.
because things have changed, we've just kind of adjusted and pivoted to just all of the changes that are taking place. But that can be damaging. But I know that some people don't have a choice or an option. It's just all about making sure that you are fully attentive to the installation process and the removal process, so that it is a quote unquote protective style and not a destruction style. Because I know a lot of people will say a destructive style. A lot of people say, yeah, I'm wearing these braids or these crochets or this weave as a protection. But if your edges and your crown is being compromised as a result, it's not protective.
That's right.
It's destructive.
That's
Again,
right.
another lie. You know, you got to call it what it is. And so, and Noop, I hope that this is answering your question. I just think that, you know, to each its own. Some people may have to do it with my daughters. My daughters wear locks. And now one of them called her locks out, and she's wearing her loose, natural Afro texture hair. So that's not been a concern for them. And for many of the young girls that I know, especially now, things have changed, and so many young girls ages 6 to 12 are now wearing their natural Afro texture hair because their mothers are wearing their natural Afro texture hair, and their grandmothers are wearing their natural Afro texture hair, and their aunts and other female influences are wearing their natural Afro texture hair. So things are changing slowly but surely, and we've got to address that and really express some gratitude for that. And the question of will it damage their hair in their adult years? It can, if again those aforementioned topics aren't addressed, them not installing it properly and being careful about the installation, and if it's not being removed properly.
I love that. I just educating people. And you know what you talking about here is, I kind of feel like it's something that needs to be said too for the adults as well, because that's how I ended up damaging my hair. I had someone, again, this predates me even knowing you, but back in the day, I had a stylist actually add some hair, some extensions. And you're spot on with what you said, because putting it in, okay, great, okay, fine, no worries. The issue came in removing the hair. And to this day, I have an area that I have to be really mindful of now. It's okay, it's fine now, but I had to be really mindful of this area, and just I've had to kind of baby it. Because why? Because I had the audacity I got sick of it, and I was like, no, I don't want this anymore. So I ended up improperly removing it. That was on me. And I know that as I talk to some of you all out there, I know that some of you all have had those same mistakes. And Darrius also mentioned this earlier, and I will reiterate it. You can go and you can do anything that you want to do. You can do anything that you want to do. We're not knocking you for any choice that you make, because for God's sake, it's your hair. You can do what you'd like. But for every choice that you make, there will be a consequence. You understand? So if anything today, it's not knocking anything that you choose to do. But what we're saying to you is, we want you to make the best choice that you possibly can make for the health and the longevity of your hair. I had to show them this picture because I looked at your daughters and I was like, the hair, oh my gosh, absolutely gorgeous, an absolutely gorgeous family. Miss Megan.
Thank you so much. So my wife Megan Peace, who is my business partner and life partner, she had locks prior to this picture. We had just cut her locks off maybe 3 days before that. Beautiful piece locks. Wow. And but she just wanted to change, just something different. And you know, I guess that's one of the luxuries of having your husband as a hair care professional, because you can do that. You can go back and forth. And then my youngest daughter, which is on the other side of me, she the shorter one. She just combed, when she saw her mama comb hers out, she was like, well, shoot, I want mine off too. And so who knows? My oldest daughter may say soon, I'm gonna comb or cut my locks off too. But that's the Peace family. So you can see my oldest son, my twin, he's got piece locks also, and my two younger boys, they don't have piece locks right now. They used to, but you know, everybody goes back and forth because they know their hair is going to be properly cared for. But thank you for showcasing my family. I like people seeing that I am a family man. A lot of people will associate a lot of negative stereotypes with men who operate in the beauty industry, especially as hair care professionals, and they'll stigma. And this is not knocking anybody's lifestyle choices or anything, but you can never judge a book by its cover. That's and right. So You know, my cover is a very polished cover and very refined and very beautiful and glamorous cover many people will associate with me being a singular force. But I am not singular. Everything about the Peace Showcase is a plural showcase, and I am an advocate of that plurality. I'm an advocate of family. I'm an advocate of extension and continuation thereof, and you can see my expansion and extension of peace showcased in this picture. I think I did a really good job at being PC with that. I think I really did.
I think you did an excellent job with that.
Yeah.
I concur. Hey,
what that PC do?
What that PC do? Hey, I want you to, we had one other quick question, Darrius, and I want to make sure that you address this, but we had someone, she may have tuned in a little bit later, or for the folks who may grab this video a little bit later and come in later, she asked specifically again about your peace locks. I know you touched on it earlier.
What was the specific question?
Yeah, about your peace locks. She said, what are peace locks?
Oh, so peace locks. So peace locks is my independent, trademarked, registered, technique and showcase of locks. And so a lot of people will make them synonymous to sister locks, and they're totally different. Everything about our installation process is completely different, and the showcase thereof is different. So peace locks showcase a fullness of the hair that you don't see in a lot of traditional locks. I love to see full hair. So I'm gonna use my hair as an example again. So you'll notice that you don't see a lot of scalpiness or with my locks. Even though I have a freshly twisted head of hair, it's not scalpy. You don't see a grid of blocks or triangles or diamonds on my hair. I don't like that showcase, and I'm not knocking it for anyone else, but that's not what peace locks showcase. We showcase fullness. Our locks showcase a different type of ascension. So you'll notice that my locks stand. They have a lot of volume, a lot of movement, and a lot of body, because we don't use product on peace locks. The installation process will take anywhere between 3 to 5 hours, and the cost for peace locks is more, in many cases, half the price of what it may cost to get, other lock installations. And the maintenance is once a month. Most people come back once a month, and it's a beautiful style option. So there's no awkward or in between phase. You're beautiful from day one all the way until you decide that you don't want them anymore, or you just can't physically wear them anymore, which is pretty much death. That's all the reason you can't wear them. You can die with them if you want to, but
what about locks, Darrius? Can people interchange? I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, so those are the things that differentiate peace locks, but it is my signature method and approach to locking hair. And every set of locks that I've worn has been peace locks. They're smaller than your conventional showcase of locks, but they're a little larger than sister locks or micro locks. We do not use an interlocking method for them. Interlocking is when you're looping the lock through itself. And the reason we don't do that is to give people the option to comb their locks out if they want to. So a lot of people think that when you're wearing locks, that you're stuck into locks, and the only way, or you're trapped into locks, and the only way you can get rid of them is by cutting them off. But you can comb your locks out. Now, it is a very time-consuming process, but it can be done. But that's what our peace locks are. And for more information about our peace locks, or if you want to schedule your session to have an installation of peace locks done, we do not use extensions for peace locks. So peace locks are done with your naturally growing hair. This is all my naturally growing hair. So I don't have any extensions or anything like that. We do not do peace locks with extensions. It is all your growing hair, to let you know that your hair is enough. As a matter of fact, your hair is more than enough to be able to wear this style, regardless of whether it's very thin or whether it's very thick. You can wear peace locks and experience fullness that you've never experienced before. I know some people think, well, my hair may be too thin. We got people who, even last night, we had a woman who was getting her peace locks installed, and she didn't even think that her hair was full enough or dense enough to wear it. And she left out of here like, wow, I didn't even know that my hair could do this. And that's the magic of the peace lock that you just don't experience with many other showcases or renditions or techniques. Techniques with installing locks. So I hope that is a clear answer to your question about peace locks. I try to be as thorough and specific about the description of it, so that people can make a well-informed decision if they decide that they want to go with our piece locks. And if you do, again, the website is Hayah, that's HAYAHBEAUTY.com. And it is, running on the bottom of the screen right here. Thank you so much, Kisa, for putting that on there, HayahBeauty.com.
Awesome. Milestone speakers say that thank you for the explanation. They're shouting us out for the locks, so we appreciate that. Also want to give you a shout out from Ashley Newton. I love Ashley Newton. She's like my little sister.
Yes, she's amazing.
I love Ashley. She says I get compliments every day on my piece locks. Hey, Darrius, what about others? Because if you had someone else who started your locks, can people come to you for lock maintenance?
Oh, absolutely. Yes. So we do lock maintenance at Hayah Beauty. We offer a large variety, a multitude, a plethora of hairstyles for natural Afro textured hair. Now, moving forward into, and I'm going to put this out publicly because these are just, this is just the way it is. Yeah. I am not anti-straight hair by any means. If you choose to wear straight hair, then that's fine. Ain't nothing wrong with that because that's your choice. However, at Hayah Beauty, starting in the month of April, we will not be offering straight hair services, which we call our satinic coiffure at Hayah Beauty. We will not be offering that service anymore. So we will only be doing our signature curly lock twist styles because that allows us to really stay truest to our core identity as a business, as a brand, as a company. And that's curly, coily, twisty lock styles. So we won't be doing that, but we offer styles that, give you twist options, curl options, lock options. I mean, just so many different options. And when you visit our website, you'll see these different options. We do sew-in weaves. I prefer doing weaves with curly textured hair. But, there are some cases where we'll put, a straight weave on some people, especially people who've been coming to me. But in April, we ain't doing that no more, just so y'all know. We ain't doing it in April. So we got some fantastic things coming with Hayah Beauty. And I'm really excited about our future. Things have been good. Amid a pandemic, we've been really blessed and very fortunate to still have our doors open, to still have our chairs filled. It's just been wonderful. And nobody in our salon has contracted COVID-19 coronavirus. So grateful for that. And we won't. We abide by the highest standards of sanitation and care in compliance with the suggestions of the CDC and the Jefferson County Health Department. So every time someone leaves it or touches anything, it is being disinfected. And anybody who comes to Hayah Beauty, they will attest to that. They know that, we spray everything. And this was before the pandemic. We ain't always been clean. We ain't never been no nasty salon. But COVID-19, has really helped us to up our game and become even more clean and more sterile than we were before. And I'm just glad, and it really has been helpful. We definitely wear our masks. Nobody can come in without a mask. If you come in without a mask, we're gonna send your ass right out that door because we ain't getting COVID. I already said we're not getting it, So we just not. And that's the way we do it, So I'm just grateful and more, on this Saturday Perspectives has been wonderful, Kisa. I love it. I look forward to doing this more with you and continuing our conversation. I love how you mentioned before, our friendship is not one of those friendships of, well, where you been? And I ain't heard from you. Ain't nobody got time for that. You know what I'm saying? Because that means that we're busy, we're growing, we're learning, we're becoming better. Every time we see each other and experience each other, we are better than we were before. And that's what it's all about, making sure that when we come back together, we're better because, we always team up and partner with influencing the masses. And in doing that, that means that when we come with something, it's got to be better than it was before. We ain't giving you what we're giving you is organic and fueling for the entire body, not something that's just filling. We're fueling, not just filling. There's a difference. And so I'm glad that we're able to do that. And I'm glad that, you have always invited me to share it in your platform. It's amazing. I've always loved your platform. And it's so influential. It's so inspiring. And I love that you continue to permit yourself to walk in your gifts. You know, they've never been limited to just journalism. They've never been limited to just communication. You know, they've never been limited to just PR. You know, it's so fully encompassing in so many different ways. And I love that you're always allowing yourself to grow in that. And even now, you know, you being able to do it alongside your husband, it's just such a beautiful look. And I love watching you glow together and grow together. It's just beautiful. Every time I see you with him and him with you, it's just beautiful. You're just glowing. And that's when you know you're experiencing a compatibility. So it's just a beautiful look, and a gorgeous showcase of partnership, and you permitting each other to just exist as you are. And that's what higher means, essentially. Higher means exist. So y'all are hiring in these streets, and I just love it.
Come on now, hiring in these streets. And you know, he does not dim my light. I mean, there's a beauty in that, because Darrius, honey, I've sat in your chair and we've talked through relational issues as well. Honey, you don't just get the do at the shop. You don't get the hairdo. You understand, you don't get the piece, just the piece locks and the used to the you know, you don't get just that. You know, you're able to really talk. So imagine getting your hair done and getting your inspiration from him as well. So you literally have been there with me throughout so many different phases of my life. Pre-marriage, you understand, pre-first marriage, after getting a divorce from that and reinventing from there, and now being where I am home, where I'm with the forever husband, who's right alongside me and who doesn't dim my light, who says, honey, go shine, honey, go pursue, go do what you're called to do. And this may sound far-fetched to some of you. It may sound a little bit weird to some of you. But all of this began as a result of me accepting Kisa wholeheartedly for who she was.
Yeah.
Understand? And that part goes back to the natural hair. So these conversations that we have, I talked to Darrius about this yesterday as we kind of chatted about this. I really had laid that aside. I really kind of put it aside because I thought, oh, I've evolved now. I'm on to some other things as a life coach. And here's the deal. This hair, this conversation piece about hair, whether it's locks or whatever expression that you wear, even in wearing your wigs or whatever, is so intricate, because it's not just about the hair. It's really about, as Darrius mentioned this, we're synergy. We have a synergy because we think alike in that arena. But what's going on the inside of you, that's what normally is going to be manifested here and in some other arenas. So for me, it involved a morphosis. It involved a change, a metamorphosis, a change from the old person, the old way of doing anything, the lie of thinking that I had to look a certain way, act a certain way to be accepted. And I'm trying to help somebody, ladies, thinking that I had to look a certain way, act a certain way, have a certain appearance. You know, Darrius, you even talked about the makeup. I used to feel like I had to go get makeup done, you know, once a week, and that was going to attract a man. And I, you know, I've gone through all of that. I felt like I had to have on the sharpest outfits, and dress to the nines, because I thought that was going to attract a man. Let me tell you something. Went through all of that phase, and it was great and it was fun while it lasted, because there is something to be said about an excellence in your brand. I will say there's something to be said about that, but it takes a whole bunch more to attract the man that will be your life partner.
Yeah.
Okay? It takes a lot more than the external, because see, a man, he can look past all that, because he's the chooser. So when he understands that there's something that connects with this person and speaks to my destiny, see, he looks beyond all of this stuff. This is important. I'm not telling you not to let it go. I'm not telling you that. We want you to be polished, and we want you to have the best presentation possible. You understand? Yeah. But it goes a lot deeper than that. And by me standing up and owning who I am, by me understanding my natural hair and accepting that this is the way God created me, and who am I to argue with God? By me understanding that and embracing that, by me walking through the process of, natural hair, the process of locks, and just saying, this is Kisa in her entirety, like me, love me, or reject me, whatever. I don't care about what you say. This is who I am. I'm here. Ladies, when you show up in that power, and this is a Valentine's Day message for you. I may have another one for you. But when you show up in that power and you own the totality of who you are, it is impossible for you not to manifest the desires of your heart, whether it's a relationship, whether it's a thriving business, whether it's family success. When you show up in your entirety, the full throttle of who you are, accepting all of it. I remember right before meeting my husband, I posted something on Facebook. Facebook brings back these memories, and it said, or I wrote, I said, I'm accepting it all. I'm taking it all. The wins, the losses, the failures, the setbacks, the advances. I said, it's who I am. And I said, I've made peace with it. When you make peace with the totality of who you are, hair included, imperfections. I mean, we're not saying go willy-nilly. I mean, we're not saying just present yourself any kind of way. Best presentation possible. You know what I mean? But when you accept that, the confidence is what's sexy. Confidence is sexy. Confidence is a clothing item. Confidence is an accessory. And it's the thing that will continue to make you not only sexy, but also attractive to people. People will be attracted to you. And I think that's why so many people are, attracted to your brand, Darrius, because you're authentic. And that's what people are looking for. People are looking for authentic. They've had enough. They don't need another Beyonce. They don't need another Michelle Obama. We love them. We celebrate them. We don't need another Aretha Franklin. We celebrate them. QueenLin, that's for you. We celebrate the Cardi B's. We celebrate the Ciaras. Yeah. But you understand, you're QueenLin. The world needs you right now. You're Darrius Peace. The world needs him, and Darrius knows that. Darrius will tell you that. We need Darrius Peace and all of your fabulousness, because we need to be reminded of, as Black women and as Black culture, how wonderful we are. We need QueenLin to stand up and say, listen, ladies, I'm not just talking about me. I'm talking about you too. And no matter how many women come along, no matter how fine she is, no matter how bold her hips are, no matter how big her breasts are, she still ain't me. When you look at me, I broke the mold. And I'm telling you today, you have broken the mold. So if you're single, go out and get yourself something and enjoy, and hold your head up high, square your shoulders, and don't wait for somebody to ask you or to celebrate you. And I'm even talking to the married women too. Don't wait for your husband to celebrate you. If he hadn't come through, we're going to believe the brethren going to come through. Okay. But if he doesn't, you're worthy to be celebrated. You're worthy. Why wait for somebody? Why wait for somebody?
That's so good, Kisa. That's so good. The thing that's interesting about that is, because I don't think that anybody should have to wait. Like, when I listen to everything that you've said, if I could sum it up in one word, that one word is what I call recovery. Because fortitude in life, in relationships, in everything is showcased to me, in my perspective, in fortitude. So like when you talk about your journey from, just your entire journey to the present, it is a showcase and an example of fortitude. When you talk about your relationship with your husband and how you're able to shine together, it's a showcase, an example of fortitude. And that's what a compatible relationship exemplifies: fortitude and recovery. Because the world is going to always be placing obstacles in our way, but it's how we recover from the obstacles. It's how you recover from the hair loss. It's how you recover from the divorce. It's how you recover from the disappointment. It's how you recover from the rejection. It's how you recover from the abuse that's going to showcase your fortitude. Because if you stay in that place, that means that you are not metamorphosing. You are not changing. You are not evolving. You aren't growing. And that's the key, to allow yourself to recover. Again, I agree. Nobody should be waiting on anybody to edify them. However, once you get in the habit of edifying yourself, I
Preach.
call it your cup will start to overflow. It'll
Preach.
start to run over. And
Yeah.
when your cup is running over, that means that you are naturally just dripping and giving away that same affirmation. So you ain't got to necessarily be like, why my husband don't edify me? Well, it don't matter, because now you so full and you
Yes.
overflowing, you edifying him, helping him to fill his cup so that he can now give back what it is
Yes.
that you giving to him. It's a cycle. But if
Yes.
you ain't giving it to yourself, then
Yes.
you ain't in no place to give it to him, and you can't depend on him to give it to you, because it's your own responsibility to edify yourself.
Wow.
Everything that somebody else gives you is just an added bonus, a cherry on top. But you can't give the power or your power away to say, this person don't ever tell me nothing good. Ain't nobody ever told me I was beautiful. Ain't nobody ever told me this. No, no, no. You give it to yourself first. You fill yourself up, because everything that you need is in you. That's why life teaches us that greater is the existence in me than the existence that's in the world. So everything I need is already in me. It's greater, remember? So because it is greater, we got to allow ourselves to be fulfilled and fueled with what we have on the inside. I am beautiful. I am amazing. I am worthy. I am recovering. So that I can continue to experience the fullness of life, the fueling of life. So in saying that, you said it wasn't until you experienced fulfillment in yourself that you began to attract fulfillment in someone else. Yeah. That's what it is. But it's the yin to the yang. If you're someone who is experiencing the opposite of fulfillment, which is lack, then more than likely you're going to attract lack in somebody else. And both of y'all asses just going to be around here lacking. You know what I'm saying? Instead of y'all being around here feeling fulfilled. That's why I love watching your glow, Keisha, because it ain't, notice I didn't say just you. I said you and your husband. Y'all both glowing. You know what I'm saying? Because y'all have experienced recovery. And y'all are a part of each other's recovery. And y'all are showcasing that recovery. I love that you ain't got no problem with being transparent about your journey, because your journey exemplifies recovery. My smile that I have every single day of my life is a showcase of recovery. We all experience some form of trauma at some point, but it's my recovery. My confidence is a showcase of recovery. My smile, my love, my haya is a showcase of recovery. And I try to make sure that I'm dripping in that every day of my life. It's all about the recovery. And I enhance and enrich this recovery every day with positive affirmations. When I see a mirror, I'm always going to smile at myself, because I can't expect Keisha to smile at me if I'm not smiling at me.
Yes.
It's got to be a reflection.
Yes.
So anyway, I just wanted to throw that in. I think that if I summed up everything that you said, I would sum it up with recovery. And I am loving watching y'all's Jefferson recovery. That's a beautiful thing to me. That's a beautiful thing.
Thank you so much. Lord have mercy. We have all these people who are commenting, affirm who you are, walking in recovery. I receive that. I receive that. Y'all are teaching us today. I came in here to hear about hair. You're getting so much more. It goes with the territory. Now, Darrius, I'm seriously going to close out, because I'm going to let you go and do what you need to do. And we're just going to have to, in some form or fashion, we're going to have to do this again. Okay. But we'll chat about that. Because we always kind of connect along these lines. Another person asked a question. I want to make sure to answer this. Can you attach piece locks to regular locks, or no? The two don't mix. How does that work?
Yeah, they're not the same, because the installation and the maintenance process is different. However, as I said before, we do style lock, just conventional locks. And we do a beautiful job at maintaining and preserving conventional locks. But our signature method for treating and styling locks at Haya Beauty is the piece locks method. And so, but they can't be mixed. You start with piece locks, you keep going with piece locks. If you start with conventional locks, we ain't trying to get you to cut your locks off. We gonna work with what you got and make magic happen with that. regardless of what kind of locks you got, because we've got so many different people with so many different showcases of locks who come through Higher Beauty. And I showcase these different locks even on my Facebook and Instagram pages, you know, just different variations of locks, because I am a fan as well as an advocate for locks, especially in the professional sector.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I am too. I am
yeah.
too.
So, you know, because I know that they offer freedom. I did see one question that came in from Lori Carr. She asked, were peace locks and peace twists the same? And they are not. They are totally different. And peace locks do not come from peace twists. It's just a totally different method. Peace twists are much larger than peace locks, and peace locks just have a totally different method and intention with how we do it. So to answer your question, no, they are different. They in some cases they can look the same because our peace locks offer an ambiguous look that many conventional locks don't. So you can see peace locks styled on someone and you'd be like, they don't really look like locks. That I can't believe that those are locks. And so, and then I'll also say that, you know, every person's head of hair is as unique as their thumb or fingerprints.
Yeah.
So your head of hair is going to showcase and exemplify your locks or whatever your style differently than what someone else's will. So you can't look at someone else's hair and say, oh, okay, I'm expecting my hair to look like that. Your hair is going to showcase the uniqueness that only you can, which is what we've been talking about the whole time, you know. And that's what QueenLin has articulated in her song. You know, it's you. You're the only one, you know. Yeah. So that's a great thing.
There ain't another. Y'all, we have, my husband came in here and walked and got the keys and showed me that he's dressed. So I'm not going to delay my Valentine's. As much as I love y'all, we've got to go get some Valentine's celebrations get underway here. Okay? He can't look. Hey, y'all. He came and modeled right here to this side. So you saw my head going, and I was watching him to let me know now I'm ready. Now you need to come on too in a very subtle look. So I'm not going to disappoint. I'm going to go ahead and have my celebration. So it is with much love and really much sadness, really, that I leave both of y'all, because we've just been hanging out, and y'all, the folks have been hanging out with us today. You hear me? They have been hanging out. Y'all have been great. You all know about Higher Beauty. Continue to spread the word. We've got his information there at the bottom, higherbeauty.com. And not only that, y'all, QueenLin has been hanging out with us today, and she has been so amazing. Darrius, true story. QueenLin is my cousin. Mm-hmm. Like she's family. Like you know, not just like play cuz. Like you're my play cuz. You know what I mean? Like you're my play bro. No, she's like real family. So I'm very proud of what she's doing in terms of her song and more to come. And I was trying to put a little banner there so I could tell people to go and see you, QueenLin. QueenLin, she ain't me. She's also showcasing her t-shirt that she has on there. QueenLin, looking like the model that she is. You go, girl. You go, girl. You can cash out. What, sweetheart?
I said, thank you, girl.
You're welcome, darling. Cash out the real QueenLin. You can hit her up on social media. Remember, real QueenLin. You can hit her up on social media, on Facebook, on Instagram, message her to find out more details. So I'm going to give you all your time back for the rest of the day. I've had so much fun hanging out. I really don't want to go. Can you tell? Yeah. I just want to go. I could just hang out here now. But like I said, I ain't missing my date today.
I love it.
So y'all have an amazing day. Darrius, special thanks to you. QueenLin, special thanks to you all. Y'all have a day. And Darrius, you and I will be in touch to see how we continue this conversation.
Absolutely. Yes, absolutely.
Here and beyond, okay?
Yes.
All right. Thank you all. Bye, Darrius. Bye, Lindalian. Wow. What a morning. You all hung in there with us today, too. I want to say thank you so very, very much. Y'all, we're going to be back next week. We're going to be talking. We're going to do something really, really fun next week, too. We're actually going to, I put out a couple of weeks ago a statement asking some of my friends to tell me some story ideas, things you'd like to see. Some people mentioned that they wanted some fashion tips. Well, spring is right around the corner. So I thought that we would go to a boutique. I have a very good friend. Her name is Lisa Blue of Michael's Boutique. We're actually going live from Michael's Boutique next week, next Saturday at 8 a.m. And we're going to give you some style ideas, some clothing ideas as we move into the spring season. We're going to talk about how to dress professionally, how you want to dress a little bit fun. Are there big colors? Are there certain things which are hot for the spring, etc., etc.? And if you know anything about me, you know I absolutely love giveaways. This is one of the scarves that she has given me, and that I absolutely love. You can tell it kind of brings open and breaks open the whole spring feel and all of that kind of stuff. So remember, again, next week, we're going to be talking spring fashion, and we're going to be live from Micah's Boutique for Saturday Perspectives. We'll have a little bit of fun, a little bit of fashion too. So I want you to join, but I'll have more about it in the coming week. So I want to say thank you. This is Valentine's week, so I want you to go out. If you have someone to spend time with, I want you to enjoy them. If you're single, I want you to enjoy yourself. Buy yourself some roses. Buy yourself some chocolates. Don't be afraid and don't be ashamed. We've all been there. I've spent most of my adult life as a single, so my heart is always going to be to encourage you. Love could be for you closer than what you think, but just make sure that you take care of yourself. I know we've been on long today, but I want to remind you to just be encouraged. Be encouraged, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? Valentine's Day does not have to be a negative. It can be positive. If you need any help from me, remember that my website is KeishaSharp.com. I am Coach K, and in my other time and in my other life, I'm also coaching clients as well. So if you just need some help strategizing, if you need some help with an area of your life planning or adjusting to change and or challenges, I got you. I can help you. I'm a life change strategist. That's part of what I do. Okay. This show is my big give to you to be able to help you and also to showcase some of our amazing talent here in Birmingham and in the state of Alabama. But again, if you need a life coach, you need to talk to someone, strategize on your next steps in life, business, love, your career, I got you. Okay. KeishaSharp.com. And I'm actually going to give you a number if you need to reach out to me as well. You can book your coaching session with me today. That's 205-223-1158. I thought I had it on the screen. There we go. And it's a ticker now. So anyway, y'all, I want you to have an amazing, amazing day. And I want to say thank you so very much. Got some folks that says you're accurate. Darrius Peace is a life coach. Laura, he's absolutely a life coach. So I want to say thank you to you, Melody, Alfreda, Lauren, Callie, Lori. Thank you, and thank you again. Y'all, I'm out of here today. I'm out to go and celebrate Valentine's Day early. Thank you so much for joining me this Saturday. Remember, I'm a life coach, life change strategist, 205-223-1158. I am happy to work with you. You can book your complimentary session. You get one free, so we can go ahead and get things started. I hope you have an amazing day. See you next week with Lisa Blue, Michael's Boutique, as we talk spring fashion. Mwah. Have a great Valentine's Day, y'all. We'll see you later.